Harry's digging an even bigger hole for himself here.
Well, I think he's dug so deep now, he'll strike water any day now.
William is reportedly formulating a plan to finally strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their HRH titles.
She's slaughtered this weekend because there were some business cards in the back of one of her podcasts. She's still using her royal title.
There are growing calls to strip Harry and Meghan of their royal titles. The New York Post is reporting that locals in the UK say enough is enough, especially after Prince Harry's disastrous BBC interview, which aired hours after he lost his appeal for taxpayer-funded UK.
I just can't stand her. I just think she's such a phony.
HRH, despite our late Queen warning her again.
It's not a financial thing. Working royals do not profit. They do not use their names to make money. It's an honor to have an HRH.
Absolutely.
So the fact that she's continued to use this HRH when they've been instructed not to, I think is absolutely infuriating in Buckingham Palace.
Prince Harry's fall from grace reached a shocking new low when he was denied entry at the 78th Cannes Film Festival in 2025. Once adored as the cheeky, rebellious prince who won hearts worldwide, Harry was left standing outside the gates like an uninvited guest. For a man born into one of the most prestigious families on the planet, this moment wasn't just humiliating. It was a painful symbol of how far he's fallen. Before we dive into how things started unraveling, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're into deep dives like this. We break down the biggest stories in entertainment without the fluff. Just facts, receipts, and a bit of chaos. And trust me, you're gonna want to see how this one ends.
We'll see King Charles do this because he's not confrontational. I don't think that he likes the fact that he's been accused of racism towards his grandchildren in Omid Scobie's book. So I think he's going to continue to tiptoe.
But of course, the real measure of success of both of them will be the same as it always has been. How much damage can they inflict on our royal family, on our monarchy? I said it before, I'll say it again tonight. King Charles should strip them of all their remaining titles and cast them out from any connection to the royal family. How could any of them trust them as far as I could throw them? Because without it, they're just whining millennial windbags with a permanent victim complex, knowing that victimhood is what makes them all the money.
One thing becomes clear. There's no turning back.
But Kimsey, you recently interviewed a friend of the royal family, Hugo Vickers, who revealed the late Queen was so fearful of Harry and Meghan that she wouldn't want to be alone with them. Let's just take...
There is no trust when it comes to Prince Harry. And the picture he tries to paint with Queen Elizabeth, even saying during that BBC interview that the Queen wanted him to have this level of security, we're finding out the truth, and it's that she bothered by them.
Major breaking news out of London. Buckingham Palace announcing Harry and Meghan will no longer formally represent the Queen. That means they will no longer receive public funds and they will stop using their royal titles. Those changes will take effect this spring. So, Katie Nicholl is now...
Cameras captured every agonizing second, and the world watched as a prince was reduced to just another name not on the list. Harry arrived at Cannes dressed to impress, exuding the confidence of someone who once commanded global attention. But instead of a red carpet welcome, he was met with a blunt reality check. Security guards asked for credentials, and when Harry couldn't provide them, he was turned away without hesitation. Eyewitnesses describe him as visibly stunned, even dropping his royal title in a desperate attempt to gain entry. But the guards didn't budge. No badge, no entry. The prince who once had the world at his feet was now left standing on the sidelines as celebrities and dignitaries walked past him, indifferent to his presence. Within minutes, the incident exploded on social media. Hashtags like Mata, Prince on pause, and Can Clapback trended globally, and Harry became the subject of brutal memes and biting commentary.
He won't speak to me because of this security stuff. But it would be nice to reconcile. If they don't want that, that's entirely up to them.
We immediately went into the trenches together.
Yeah.
But she said she was in the trenches. She alludes to being in the trenches when she was in the British royal family. Girl, you lived in a castle. Like, you got a princess title. People were falling at your feet. People would run your bathwater for you. I mean, I could list the perks. I could list them forever. The trenches, she has got to, the Delulu is on another level. Sometimes I envy it.
Lady who's very popular for being awful.
Prince William, he's reportedly furious after it emerged that Meghan Markle is still using her HRH title, despite agreeing to drop the title when the Sussexes left royal duties.
TikTok was particularly merciless with users mocking the once revered royals' fall from grace. The public, it seemed, had little sympathy. What should have been a private embarrassment was now a public spectacle, and the internet's response was crystal clear. Harry's name no longer carried the weight it once did. This moment at Cannes wasn't an isolated incident. It was the culmination of years of declining influence. From his decision to step back from royal duties to his explosive interview with Oprah, Harry has struggled to maintain his relevance. His Netflix deal, the memoir Spare, and the Spotify series kept him in the headlines, but they also painted a picture of a man increasingly out of touch with his audience.
I think Meghan Markle has been very brazen recently with the use of the HRH.
Brat, to be honest, and very, very entitled.
Harry and Meghan, they have an issue when it comes to their memory and when it comes to the truth. She is relentless, she is shameless, and she is exhausting. You are not a successful female entrepreneur.
You're in America now, and we don't give a shit about you. You're not our fucking prince. You'll never be king. We hate your wife. Stay at home in your $29 million mansion, all right?
What started as a bold move for independence has spiraled into a series of missteps that have left Harry fighting to stay in the public eye. Adding to the turmoil is the scandal surrounding the Invictus Games, Harry's flagship charitable project. Reports allege that $15 million in funds are unaccounted for, sparking outrage among veterans and donors. Internal audits have flagged questionable expenses, and Canadian officials are reportedly distancing themselves from the organization. For Harry, who built much of his public persona on his service to veterans, this scandal is devastating. It's not just a blow to the Invictus Foundation. It's a blow to Harry's credibility and the core of his identity.
It was agreed with Queen Elizabeth that they will not use the HRH title. That is a long-standing precedent, and there's good reason for it. Basically, the HRH is only given to working royals and senior members of the royal family.
A new poll by Find Out Now has revealed that most of the public is supporting the king in this family feud, ongoing family feud, after Harry's bombshell BBC interview. It follows the Court of Appeal's decision to not overturn the ruling on his security in the UK.
The hypocrisy is beyond anything I've ever seen.
It's my pleasure. It's a big news story. As you can imagine over here, it really has, well, the phone hasn't stopped ringing, put it that way.
And in terms of your initial reaction to this latest news, that in fact it feels like it's a full removal in the sense of not just senior royal duties, but
a progressive new role within the royal family. While the royal family does modernize, I mean, the Queen sends tweets, it is an age-old institution, and I think that idea of tradition and everything we expect of the monarchy doesn't quite sit well with that idea of
what the monarchy means for the monarchy.
Well, people are talking about it being a constitutional crisis, and I'm not sure it is a constitutional crisis. I mean, through circumstance and the Cambridges having 3 children, Harry slipped down from being the spare to the heir to the 6th.
Let's be real. Harry's reputation in the UK is collapsing fast. The latest polling shows 62% of people want his title stripped. Among older voters and conservatives, that number jumps past 70%. Even Labour supporters, who are usually more sympathetic, say he's finally crossed the line.
Amid all this chaos, Meghan Markle's silence has been deafening. The Duchess was noticeably absent from Harry's side at Cannes, and she has yet to comment on the Invictus scandal. This has fueled speculation about tensions within their marriage. Some believe Meghan is distancing herself from Harry's unraveling public image, while others suspect a deeper rift. Whatever the case, her absence has only added to the narrative of a couple struggling to maintain their once united front. Meanwhile, the royal family has taken a different approach. Figures like Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie have stepped into more prominent roles, earning praise for their understated elegance and commitment to public service.
He's a duplicitous, self-centered, vile, disloyal hypocrite.
I don't know how much longer my father has.
Harry's digging an even bigger hole for himself here.
Well, I think he's dug so deep now, he'll strike water any day now.
William is reportedly formulating a plan to finally strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their HRH titles.
She's slaughtered this weekend because there were some business cards in the back of one of her podcasts. She's still using her royal title, HRH, despite our late Queen warning her against.
It's not a financial thing. Working royals do not profit. They do not use their names to make money. It's an honor to have an HRH.
Absolutely.
So the fact that she's continued to use this HRH when they've been instructed not to, I think is absolutely infuriating in Buckingham Palace.
Is stepping in with a clear message: if you want the fame and the money, then drop the crown.
Now, a staggering 2/3 of Brits are calling for Harry and Meghan to be stripped of their HRH titles.
The hypocrisy is beyond anything I've ever seen.
He's a duplicitous, self-centered, vile, disloyal hypocrite.
With King Charles on his way out, Prince William is expected to take over the crown. And apparently at the top of his list is to say, "Peace out, Meghan, you're done." And he plans to formally strip Meghan Markle of her royal title.
While Harry and Meghan have faced criticism for their tell-all interviews and public grievances, the rest of the royal family has chosen quiet resilience. This contrast has not gone unnoticed, and many are beginning to see the monarchy in a more favorable light. Public sympathy for Harry and Meghan has shifted dramatically. What was once seen as a brave fight for independence is now viewed through a more critical lens. Accusations of oversharing and self-promotion have tarnished their brand, and the public is growing weary of their narrative.
This isn't just tabloid fatigue or royal drama burnout, it's a nationwide rejection. Across the political spectrum, the message is the same: the title no longer fits the man. And for Harry, that shift is more damaging than any headline.
A new poll by Find Out Now has revealed that most of the public is supporting the king in this ongoing family feud, after Harry's bombshell BBC interview. It follows the Court of Appeal's decision to not overturn the ruling on his security in the UK.
But here's the real gut punch. People in Sussex, his own...
When the stakes are this high, doesn't it make more sense to hear our story from us?
It's not a financial thing. Working royals do not profit. They do not use their names to make money. It's an honor to have an HRH.
Absolutely.
So the fact that she's continued to use this HRH when they've been instructed not to, I think is absolutely infuriating in Buckingham Palace. It was agreed with Queen Elizabeth that they will not use the HRH title. That is a long-standing precedent, and there's good reason for it. Basically, the HRH is only given to working royals and senior members of the royal family.
You're in America now, and we don't give a about you. You're not our fucking prince. You'll never be king. We hate your wife. Stay at home in your $29 million mansion, all right?
Oh my God, I can't even. These two, Meghan and Harry, are the worst.
Now, Meghan, just last week, she did her first long-form sit-down podcast interview. She showed a basket that she had sent to the host of the podcast as a thank you for allowing her to come on. And here you can kind of zoom in here and it says, with the compliments of Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex.
Oh, shut up. What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are? Other than a latte-munching imbecile living in luxury in California while the rest of the world's a cost of living crisis, moaning and whining about an institution which gave you the titles on which you now trade millions of dollars. What are you talking about? Stakes?
The Invictus scandal in particular has struck a nerve, with veterans and donors demanding answers. Social media, once their greatest ally, has turned into a platform for criticism and skepticism. The image of Harry being turned away at Cannes is a powerful metaphor for his current standing in the world. He's no longer the beloved prince who could do no wrong. Instead, he's a man navigating a world that has moved on without him. His name, once a ticket to any room, is no longer enough to open doors. The symbolism is hard to ignore. Harry is no longer part of the inner circle, and his struggles are playing out on a global stage. As the dust settles, one question remains: can Prince Harry redeem himself? His fall from grace has been dramatic, but it's not necessarily the end of the story. Redemption is possible, but it will require a complete rethinking of his approach to public life. Whether he can rise above the scandals and reclaim his dignity remains to be seen. For now, the world watches as a prince who once had it all fights to find his place in a world that no longer waits for him.